We're back with the Opie and Anthony Show. Want to get right into it. Quentin Tarantino in studio.
Yeah.
And during the break, I went into the green room just to say hi, because we're all huge fans. That's an obvious thing, right? And then I find out that he listens to our show. He has XM satellite radio.
Yeah, I got XM, and I listen to you guys. Not only that, I didn't even know that there was that best of channel that you're just on 24/7.
Yeah.
I found that actually last week.
And that's when I knew you were a fan, because we'll have people come in, we'll interview them, and they'll go, hey, I love you guys. And then, who was it recently? It was... Jeff Goldblum. And he's like, big fan. I'm like, well, just name one bit we've done. That's all. Just one lousy bit. And he couldn't come up. He was just trying to be nice.
I can come up with the Louis Anderson on Family Feud bit. How cool is that?
With my father turning tragedy to comedy.
See? That is awesome. You just made our day.
Man.
Who cares about Grindhouse? Quentin Tarantino's a fan of ours. Exploitation films. They went away but you brought it back with this Grindhouse, that's for sure.
Well, it's one of those things where it's actually, I hadn't thought about it until I was going my New York tour. The movie will obviously be playing on 42nd Street, and I was like, holy hell, man, we're bringing 42nd Street back to 42nd Street.
Bringing a little scum to 42nd Street. A little skank bag.
We're bringing a little, pre-Giuliani, all right, with 42nd Street going on there.
It's amazing to me.
You almost thought Mayor Lindsay would be the mayor now.
It's amazing to me what you get out of actors, too. Like, when you see what Kurt Russell does in this, it's like you have this great knack of taking actors where nobody else has seen them go, and he plays Stuntman Mike.
Yeah.
What a fantastic character this is in this movie.
And the thing with Kurt Russell, he used to do roles like that, but he hasn't for so long, and you brought that wild side back. Well, in Kurt Russell.
Well, it's funny because some people are saying, "So is you doing this like with Kurt Russell, like you do with John Travolta?" I go, "Well, I don't know if Kurt Russell needs my help that much. I feel pretty good." But there is that aspect. I remember it was like, I don't know. Sometime around when he did that movie, Dreamer, that horse movie with Dakota Fanning, I'm opening up the newspaper and I see it's like a silhouette shot on Magic Hour of Kurt Russell and Dakota Fanning and a horse just running, and I'm like, when is Kurt Russell going to be a badass again? I want Snake Plissken back. What's going on here? I'm McCready from The Thing. And then when I came up with the idea of Stuntman Mike and I wrote the character, then I just kind of thought of Kurt. And after I thought of him, I just couldn't put the monkey back in the box. It was like, that's the guy.
It's a great character. Great character.
Well, here's a question I have for you, too. What about Natural Born Killers did you not like that Oliver Stone did with it? Because you wrote that, right?
Yeah. Well, basically, they rewrote my script. That's... first, foremost, and kind of you can stop right there.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big problem.
I mean, my whole thing about it is, like, I know people, screenwriters in Hollywood, they rewrite them all the time, and that happens all the time. Not to me. So the minute it happened, I was like, you know what? I ain't going to play this game. He didn't have a right to do it. I would rather he stole it.
Right.
I'd rather he had stole what he won from it just so my name wouldn't be associated with it.
Was there a part of it that you hated that he did?
Yeah, well, okay, there's one part. Okay, I've never sat down and watched the movie from beginning to end. All right, I went to the theaters once to see it, and then the scene that I'm going to say was so bad that I had to leave. Since then, I've seen little bits of it on cable or something, but it was that horrible sitcom, I Love Mallory, with Rodney Dangerfield. And the way it was is I created these characters, and it kept a lot of my stuff. Basically, the funny stuff that's still in the movie is my stuff. But the thing is, I had top position on screenplay, and I would have got lots of money because that's where you get all the big royalties and all that stuff. For fear anybody would think I wrote that crap, I said, take my name off the screenplay, all right? I'll get story by because I came up with the name of Mickey and Mallory. I gave up money for integrity because I just didn't want anyone to think I wrote that.
You didn't see, I like that scene. You didn't like that scene?
I hated that scene. But here's the deal about that, though. All right? It's not that, if you don't like that, if you like that movie, you're an idiot. A lot of people like that movie. I'll tell you one time that I started feeling better about it because I didn't like it for a long time. Me and Oliver have made up, though. I walked through an elevator. Elevator opens up. Johnny Cash is in the elevator. I'm like, oh, my God, Johnny Cash. So I walk in and go, oh, hey, you're Quentin Tarantino, aren't you? I go, Yes, I am. Well, me and June, we really like your movies a lot. Oh, wow, that's really great. Well, I've been a fan of yours forever. We really like that Natural Born Killers.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So you took the compliment that day.
That went a long way, I got to say. All right. That went a long way to, healing wounds.
Why don't you just remake the movie in your vision?
You know what? It's really funny. I actually thought about that about 3 years ago because I actually published my screen. Oliver Stone was actually kind of nice about even the fact we were fighting. He allowed me to, because he kind of had control over it, he allowed me to actually publish my original screenplay. So it's out there. You can get my original screenplay. And it is very, very different. I thought about that about 3 years ago. And, I might still do that one of these days. But kind of moving forward.
Yeah.
I would really have to run out of ideas for a while.
Who would you have cast, though? Or did you think that the casting was done well? Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis? Would you have cast?
No, I didn't like the casting of Woody Harrelson at all, actually, at the time. All right. Actually, since then, we've even been feuding about it. I'm not feuding, but he doesn't like me, and I don't, because he knows I don't like him. But actually, since then, he's actually been pretty good in some movies. I thought in Ed TV he was really funny. But other than that, though, I wouldn't cast him in that at all. But Juliette Lewis I thought was terrific. Yeah. She actually is the closest to just her performance. Her vibe was the closest to any vibe that I had in my script was in her performance.
I also have to ask you, because you're here, all kinds of things I couldn't find on the internet about this. The Vega Brothers. There was this rumor that you were going to put out the movie The Vega Brothers about Michael Madsen and John Travolta's characters in some way, shape, or form. How it would be done is, beyond me, but is there any truth to that?
Well, I gotta say, it's looking unlikely now.
Yeah.
All right.
They were supposed to be brothers?
Yeah.
I never connected that. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we never say it.
Right.
Yeah,
they both have the same last name. One's Vincent, one's Vic.
Could tell they were probably raised by the same people.
Yeah. And I actually even had a title for it. It was called Double V Vega.
Double V Vega.
And it actually would have taken place during the time that Vincent was in Amsterdam, when he was running one of Marcellus's clubs in Amsterdam, and Vic goes to visit him. When Vic would be Michael Madsen, and we're all a little older now.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And since they both died, it would have to be a prequel.
Yeah.
Then I actually came up with a way I could have done it, even with them being older and dead, and I'll be revealing it right now for the first time, because I probably won't do it.
Okay.
They all had older brothers, and I would have that both of their brothers got together because of the two guys died, and they wanted revenge or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But then now they're still too old for that.
My girlfriend even pointed out that your violence never seems violent. Like, you have this great way of not being offensive with violence. Like, you put comedy and violence together. Like, Madsen is going to set a guy on fire, and it's chilling and it's awful, and he's singing into a severed ear, and it's hilarious. He's talking to a severed ear. It's amazing how you mix comedy and violence and both work.
Well, it's that's kind of actually. I think if you boil down everything I'm trying to do, that if you get it down to the final pearl that's left in the clam, it would be I'm going to make you laugh at stuff that's not funny. At the end of the day, that's the pearl. What I'm trying to do at the end of the day, and I'm also, and it's kind of almost what Grindhouse is all about. Is we're trying to orchestrate the audience, so it's like laugh, stop laughing, stop laughing, stop laughing. Now you're really not laughing. Laugh now, all right. And then when you feel that in the audience, it's like you're a conductor.
You're talking about doing a war movie.
Yeah.
Now that's a completely new genre.
Yeah.
That people don't know you for. Any challenges? Anything? What type of Quentin personality is injected into this?
Well, it's all my movies are very, even though I'm working inside a genre, all my movies are very, very personal. So it's going to be a Quentin movie, all right? It started off sort of like my version of The Dirty Dozen. Not a remake, but just, bunch of guys on a mission.
Right.
Those 60s war movies, bunch of guys on some suicide mission. the psycho, the rapist, the this, the that, the sergeant.
Those movies were great, too. They would take all afternoon on a Sunday with the commercials.
Kowalski!
Yeah, exactly. It would be a 4 or 5 hour movie on TV on a Sunday, but you didn't mind.
Then you had the actors to do it. I mean, just think when they did the Dirty Dozen, without even trying hard, they threw a rock on a tree and Jim Brown falls out. John Cassavetes falls out. Charles Bronson's hanging there. He falls out. Richard Jacob. We're not even talking about Lee Marvin. You don't even get to Lee Marvin. Bronson, Brown, my God. So it's like, those had the guys.
Yep.
So, but what it's become, as I've been writing it more and more and more, is, it's kind of big, sprawling epic. It's become my spaghetti western, but with World War II iconography, which makes sense because that's the one time in the 20th century that really was a no man's land, especially if you're in Nazi-occupied territory. And so the movie's called Inglourious Bastards, but it has a subtitle, and the subtitle, to bring the spaghetti western, aspect of it to the fore, Once Upon a Time in Nazi-occupied France.
God damn.
You're nuts, man. I love it.
And it's I was talking about the subtleties before that I love in your movie, and another scene, and this was in Pulp Fiction. After that whole goddamn coffee scene at your house, the character that you played, when the wolf just tips his cup to you. Goddamn brilliant. It's so subtle. And that coffee scene was such a big scene. And he just acknowledges it with the little nod and the tip of the cup like, this is good. Goddamn brilliant, man.
Yeah, so it was an interesting character, too. Like, the wolf was such an interesting character. This guy who all these murderers respect, who's going to clean up this mess, is this polite cornball who likes a good cup of joe and makes little jokes with the gal.
Exactly. It's those subtleties, man, that just make it gold. Man. And I'm not going to ask you the obvious question, which I think is the hack Pulp Fiction question. What's in this case? What's the gold thing in the case? Just leave it alone. Let it sit. Read the internet to figure it out. What I want to know is, did Bruce Willis's character key Vince's car?
Oh, yes, and that's very good on your part.
Okay, all right.
That's very good reading between the lines.
Good, good. All right. I figured that because he was pissed at him.
Yeah.
Punchy.
Punchy, right.
That whole exchange is just great. And he kind of looks at him and you know he had to get back at him.
Yeah, to me, like, the subtext going on there is you have the two stars of the movie, and they can't share a frame together. Right?
Yeah.
They just, the minute that they actually share the same frame together, they get mad at you. It's like two Elvises can't meet, or else the world stops.
Yep.
Hey, I'm sad to say we got to get him out of here. Quentin,
man.
Best guest ever, man. This has been a lot of
so
fun.
Much fun. I'm sorry that I'm getting the vaudeville hook.
Yeah, right?
I'm thinking we might become friends now.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Anytime you're in New York, please. Anytime you got free reign here.
Oh, you got it, man. You got it.
Love to have you back.
Let's give Grindhouse the big plug. So it's a double feature. What do you want to say about it, Quentin?
Oh, man. Well, the thing about it is, like, it's hard to just take the form and just not just sound like you're hyping stuff up. But the one thing I can say about Grindhouse, man, you go and you pay your money, you're going to have a night out at the movies. I mean, you're not just renting a seat, movie's over, get the hell out. You're going to know you saw something that night.
You will talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a great movie, and, man, thanks for coming in. You were fantastic.
Absolutely.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Love it.
Grindhouse premieres Friday, and
our audience, for the most part, will love this movie. I mean, I know that's like just saying, but we know our audience, they're going to love it.
They're degenerates, and they're psychopaths.
Well, and that means they're my audience.
They're all Stuntman Mike.
They're our audience.
Picture Stuntman Mike, but 300 pounds with a worse mullet.
The Opie and Anthony audience must be at this theater. Well, yeah. But we love them. We love them. Yeah. Grindhouse opens this Friday. Quentin, this has been beyond a pleasure. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
We'll continue. It's Opie and Anthony.